Welcome to Lifing 101, a journey through life's experiences, challenges, and interpretations. An intriguing and soul-refining podcast that explores the countless twists of life. Get ready to be amused, enlightened, entertained, empowered, and inspired. Hosted by Tina C. Christian, your MC with the LPC, and guest co-host Lorenda McKinney, your MC with the PhD.
Welcome, lovely listeners, to an exciting episode of Lifing 101 podcast,
where we dive into life's little mysteries and offer you insights to help you lead a happier, more fulfilling life.
I'm your MC with the LPC, Tina C. Christian, navigating y'all through this journey up and down and all around on this emotional roller coaster we call life.
And I'm your MC with the PhD, Lorenda McKinney. So grab your favorite beverage, find a comfortable spot, sit back and relax while we embark on this restorative journey together.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening out there. Okay, so welcome to the 2024 Toxic Free series with Lifing 101 podcast. And today we're going to talk about the tribe dynamics. Who are those, Doc?
Those would be your dreamers, your hard workers, and your realists.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about some characteristics of those people and why you want those people in your tribe. So we want to kind of give you an idea of the friends to surround yourself with. And why would that be important, Doc? Why do you think that'd be important to have a variety of people to surround yourself with in your circle?
So they say you are most like the people you spend a lot of your time with. So that's what makes it important, because if you're picking up habits, you want them to be good habits.
Right.
And then you want it to be an equal balance. So if I'm saying dreamers, hard workers, and realists, I kind of want a little bit of the person that kind of is really high up in the sky and they think their imagination works all over the place. The hard worker that's going to give me those tools I need to be successful. And then the realist is going to shake me up and say, now, you know that don't make any sense.
Right.
So it's important to have all of those just so that you have that equal balance.
So let's talk about those three different friends that we can have in our circle. And I think, which one you want to start? We want to start with the dreamer.
We can start with the dreamer.
Okay, so dreamer. Some of those characteristics of dreamers would be basically they're visionaries.
Yeah.
Right. And they often have like a grand vision of the future or big ideals that they are passionate about, right?
Yeah.
What's something else you can think of in regard to the dreamer?
I'm going to say optimistic. So it's nothing wrong with being optimistic, but sometimes that can go like really overboard too. You're like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but realistically, how much sense does that make what you just said to me?
Right. So the optimistic dreamer, they tend to see the potential and possibilities in situations, and they can maintain a positive outlook. However, sometimes it can be overboard.
Right, right.
Yeah, I can see that. Another thing I can think of in regard to the dreamer is that they are risk takers. So then they're willing to take risks in pursuit of their visions. They're driven by their passions and the belief in their ideals. Me, myself, I'm not a big risk taker. I can take a risk, but I have to have some sort of assurance. I guess.
Some type of guarantee that even if it's not a big payout, there's still a payout.
Right. Yeah. So I can take small risks, but I think the real risk takers take big risks.
Right.
What's some other characteristics that you can think of in regarding to the dreamer?
I would say a creative person. And then the creative also does go with the entrepreneurship because that's what it takes. It takes your mind to create something that there's a demand for it, but not a lot of people supplying it.
Right.
Because although you don't mind being in competition with other people, you want yours to stand out from the rest. Right. So what are you going to do different that's going to make somebody choose you if it's three of you with the same service? What is going to make your service different?
Stand out. Yeah. So creative, yes. I can definitely see that for the dreamer, as well as being imaginative.
Yes.
So having maybe a vivid imagination and being able to think outside the box.
Right.
So although I don't see myself as a dreamer, I can see why a dreamer would be a good person to have on your team.
For sure. Because they'll keep you going even on the times when you're not sure anymore. They'll keep you going.
Right. I'd say maybe 3 out of the, what do we name, like 5, I could see see and identify with. So I won't say that I'll call myself a dreamer. I will say I have dreams. But I can see myself being creative. I can see myself
you are creative.
Small risk. I can be very optimistic at times, and I do have visions, but I don't think I have a vivid imagination. But I can think outside the box, but I'm so analytical and, so I don't know. I don't think that I'm a dreamer.
I'm going to say that's probably the least out of the three for me is the dreamer. I mean, I can be a problem solver. I can be optimistic, but my realist side is going to show up to keep me from going too far on that dreamer side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
On to the next one. The other person or type of friend that you want on your team would be a hard worker.
Yeah.
And so hard workers, I think we kind of know who they are and what their characteristics are, but just to kind of refresh your memory in case you don't know, also we'll let you know that those are the dedicated people, right? Those are the people that are committed and devoted to their task and their goals and their projects. So you definitely want someone that's dedicated on your team as a hard worker. What's something else or another characteristic that you can think of in regard to hard workers?
I'm definitely going to say the disciplined person because without discipline, it's going to be hard to really achieve something. So you have to come up with whatever your plan is and you have to stick to it.
Yeah, got to have that willpower.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Something else I can think of, very goal-oriented.
Yes.
So you want to have someone on your team that's going to help you, set up some objectives and be able to work towards achieving those and to have a clear plan of action.
Right.
We kind of talked about goal setting before, but definitely you want to have someone that's a goal-oriented person and a hard worker on your team. What's some other characteristics that you can think of?
They are persistent, which is very important because things are going to come up to try to knock you off your block.
Yes.
So you have to have that persistence. So the first thing that comes up, you don't give up. So it's going to be important to have that persistent person because they're going to continue to push you like, I understand that happened, but stay focused. You can get through it. Even the challenges and the setbacks, they're going to keep you on track.
Right, because we all know about those setbacks, but they are
set up for comebacks. That's right.
We talked about that. So, but another characteristic that I can think of would be someone that's very efficient.
Right.
So hard workers, they are productive, but they're also very efficient in their work. And they like to maximize their time and they utilize their resources to accomplish their tasks. So if you have someone that's very efficient, goal-oriented, persistent, that has discipline and dedicated, you got your hard worker on your team. So they are good to have. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so I would say if you know that person, not that I'm saying don't have the dreamers because you need that balance, but if you know that hard worker, those are going to probably be some of the people that can keep you on track with the physical, the leg work, the things that have to be done, because the minute you start talking about something that's not making any sense with what your goal is, they're going to be like, wait a minute, did you change it? I'm missing something?
Are you on task?
Yeah, so they're gonna be those people to keep you focused.
Yes, they are going to keep you on task. The dreamers are going to help you dream up some more dreams, but the hard workers are going to definitely hold you accountable and try to push you to do these tasks and, in the order probably that you've already established, which you did when you did your goal setting.
Right, because the dreamers might have you opening 10 doors and none of them get done, but they all sound awesome. Yes. But you're just continuing to open up doors instead of completing some and staying focused. So.
Yeah, definitely. So get you a dreamer, get you a hard worker. And the last but not least is the realist. Now that's me. I think I'm a realist. What do you think?
For sure.
I'm a realist. I claim to be.
Right. I agree. I think that's my strongest area too.
Yeah. So I know that I'm very rational and very analytical. So that is two characteristics that I can identify with as a realist. Someone that's very rational and they're grounded in logic and reason, and they prefer to make their decisions based off of practicality. So I think that's me. I'm very practical and very realistic and logical when it comes to making decisions. So I know that is a key characteristic in realistics. And also I'm very analytical, not just because I'm a therapist, but because that's who I am as a person, I've always been very analytical. I've always wanted to analyze, and I pay real good attention to detail. I'm just very detail oriented, but I like to consider all the relevant factors and all that. Those are some of the characteristics of a realist. They are someone that is very rational and someone that is very analytical. What's some other characteristics that you can think of, Doc?
I'm going to say prepared. They anticipate challenges and obstacles, and they are proactive, because I'm very proactive. Even at work, they laugh at me because every time I send an email or something out, I go, be proactive. Like when it's the week before payroll, I'm like, be proactive. Don't be reactive. So when something comes up, it's going to affect us. Be ready for it. I'll be like, okay, this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm about to give it. Because I know people don't like to hear certain things, but do they need to hear it? They do. So, where the dreamer might give you that soft cotton ball conversation, the realist is going to keep you where it makes sense and it's keeping you from facing something that you could avoid.
They're going to keep it real. And like you said, with preparedness, again, that's how I can identify, because I say the same thing all the time. Be proactive, not reactive, because I feel like if you already plan for it, you don't have to worry about trying to come back and make, all these adjustments if you've already been prepared and try to plan out a good plan.
I agree, because it's more work. It's more work when you got to clean up that mess versus you being proactive. Because baby, on payroll Monday and they didn't do what I said about being proactive, they be ready to block my phone number because I gives it to them. I do, because for one, I take any part of my job serious, but that one I take really serious because none of us are working for free.
Correct.
So I'm gonna need you to do your part, because guess who they gonna call if pay ain't right? They're not gonna go to their manager. They gonna show up at my door asking why, and I'm gonna tell them, well, let's call the person that really is the reason for this. But it's just important. It's just important to always be proactive in every part of life. And it's not that you always want to assume the worst, but it's better off, because if you have to clean it up after it's already done, it's a lot of work.
Definitely. Don't want to do that. Another characteristic that I can think of and identify with is skeptical. I am very skeptical. But when you think of being skeptical, it's like, people that question assumptions. And they are going to scrutinize proposals or plans, and they're going to ensure that they're feasible and viable. And so I don't think it's a bad thing to be skeptical.
It's not.
Of course I wouldn't, because I am. But again, I think it's a good characteristic to have, and it is a part of the realist. Definitely, I think it's necessary.
You should have questions. Just because I tell you something, that doesn't mean it's right. And you shouldn't go along with whatever people tell you. You should question some things.
Test it. Test it out. Question it, definitely.
Yes, you definitely should question some things, and don't ever think, I hate when people go, this is a dumb question. No, we all know that the only question that's dumb is the one that's not asked.
That's the one you didn't ask.
Because no question is dumb. I mean, if it's a question to you, it's a question.
You want to know?
Ask your questions. Be a little skeptical. Like, make that person think they on their toes. They're aware. Don't make a person think they could sell you anything.
Any other characteristics that we can think of for the realists?
For the realist, pragmatic. So you're focusing on what's achievable and realistic rather than getting lost in the idealistic notion. So you're more focused on achievable and realistic versus the dreamer.
Definitely.
It's you're opposite when it comes to that, where the dreamer has ideals and everything that things could work. You're more realistic, like, okay, sitting here right now, what do we have? What's our next step with what we have right here? Not what we may come up with tomorrow.
Just being practical, basically. So we have rational, analytical, pragmatic and practical, skeptical, prepared, and being proactive. A realist is a good person to have on your team as friends as well, because you have your dreamers, you have your hard workers and your doers, but you really, you need a combination. Because they all play a certain role in your life and in your journey, and to help you accomplish certain goals and things like that. And we need different people in our lives. It would be so boring if everybody was the same and you and all your friends or family members are just walking around here like robots or something. Everybody's the same. Let's talk about basically what those roles would look like as far as, we talked about the characteristics, but now we just want to talk about the roles in your groups. Like, for instance, the dreamers. So dreamers, the roles in groups What would that look like?
They motivate others. So they could be your biggest cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with it is when the motivate others come up, that really could be any one of them. But the dreamers are going to be big because their imagination is just so huge that they're motivating you to things out of this world. Like they're
and their passion.
They're motivating you to pursue everything you've ever thought of.
Right.
And then you get down the road to the realists and they like, okay now.
Who told you that? It wasn't me. It must have been that dreamer. Definitely. But I know that they inspire innovation. Right. Because they inspire others with their those ideals. Yeah. And then, the visionary, they kind of think and they push boundaries and challenge the status quo. So definitely a good thing and a good person to have on your team and those type of characteristics. And that's what they will look like in that role. And last but not least, I can think of they spark creativity.
Yeah,
right?
They dig deep into that creativity. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
They're going to definitely keep you creative. They're going to keep you motivated, and they're going to keep you inspired to be innovative. So that's what that person would look like in their role in your group.
Right. And they're going to make sure you're not stagnant. Like they're going to make sure you keep coming up with more ideas and making sure that your creativity doesn't dry out, because true enough, we all have some type of creativity, but some people are a lot more creative than others. But me and Tina was talking about which one we're the most like. And most people have a little bit of all of them, but you're just a lot stronger in one of the areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I can see characteristics of all of them for me, but I think I'm the strongest in the rollers.
Yeah.
But as far as hard workers, how they would look or what they would look like as their role in your group would be, they're going to be kind of like, they're going to drive the execution. Mm-hmm. The hard workers are going to be instrumental in executing plans, and they're going to be turning dreams into reality through their diligent efforts. So they're not just like the dreamers, they're going to actually want to execute.
Yeah, they want some outcomes. Yeah, they want some proof that the work's been happening.
Yeah, definitely. So I can see why that would be very, very, very important, because you need some productivity.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're walking, you're running in a circle, and nobody ever say tag you in. Like everybody just keep running.
Did we have a goal? Outcome we wanted? Yeah, so you're definitely going to want someone that's going to be executing plans or pushing you to execute plans.
Right.
So that's going to be your hard worker. That's what they're going to look like in that role in your group. And what's something else that they can kind of look for in their hard workers?
So what I'm going to say is fosters accountability. And the reason why I am so big with get you an accountability partner.
Yes.
Like that's always, Tina, no, I'm
You're
fast to say. Yeah. I'm like, get you a person. Because I really do think it takes a village. We say it takes a village to raise kids, but it takes a village for us adults too. Imagine a world where you have none of these people in it.
Or no accountability.
Yeah, or no accountability, no structure, no focus, no nothing. I'm telling you, it's going to be hard to keep going.
Right.
And that's what I just said this yesterday. People pretend that they don't like structure, but people do, because it keeps them on track.
Right.
So
definitely.
Yeah.
We all need structure.
You do, because how do you know if you're off?
Chaos is no.
Exactly. So
that's exactly what it is. Chaos.
It is. And I'm always saying, get your accountability partner.
Right.
Get you one.
Yeah.
So I definitely say fosters accountability, because they keep you on track. They check in with you. They want to know, how are we doing? They're just making sure everything is going the way it should go.
Yeah. They're going to promote that accountability and responsibility within your group. So you're going to know that that's your hard worker when you hear someone keeping you accountable.
And they're holding themselves accountable and you.
Yeah, correct. And another thing that you can look for in your hard workers, they provide stability.
Yes.
So they're going to be consistent, and they're going to provide that stability, ensuring that, tasks are completed on time, and they're going to have that high standard as well.
Right.
Because again, we talked about how they drive execution and they're looking for outcomes and production.
Yes.
So they definitely going to want to make sure that tasks are completed, but also that there's a high standard.
Right.
So you can hear why that's important to have someone like that on your team or in your group, because they're going to help keep you accountable, provide some stability, as well as help you execute these plans. The dreamer is very important. The hard worker is very important. And last but not least, we, the realists, are very important.
We are really important.
we're highly
because we're a combination. But I was going to say on that stability thing, how often do you literally say, they too unstable to be that old? That just lets you know people who people gonna hold you to stability because it's nothing like a person just being all over the place and you just can't count on them for nothing because you just don't know what they're gonna do.
Right. But with the realists, we kind of talked about the characteristics, but let's talk about what
our role. What do me and Tina bring to your life?
What do we look like in those roles in your life? Get you a Tina and a dog.
Yeah. What does it look like? I mean, you probably could cash it in for a fat check, but we gonna be humble today. Maybe Friday we'll go on and jump out there and put a price on us.
Yeah, but no, for real though, in that role, if you have someone that's a part of your group and they are the realists, they're gonna provide some perspective for you. So realists offer grounded perspective for you. They help you to balance out, the idealism of the dreamers and the integrity of the hard workers. So definitely they're going to provide that perspective for you. What's something else you would say that we would provide for others?
I'm going to say we're going to offer you some practical solutions. So they're going to be reasonable. It's going to be something that we believe that you can do.
Always, definitely, because we're so practical and we're so
realistic.
We are very realistic and we're very solution focused.
Right. What can we do to fix this?
Problem solving, like I say all the time. Don't call me if you want to have a pity party. That's not, you dialed the wrong number. But if you come for some solutions,
let's
I'm
get
your
with
person.
it. That's
so definitely they're going to provide you and offer you some practical solutions. But also I can see mitigating risk. The potential challenges or obstacles and take proactive steps to mitigate risks or address issues before they arise.
That's
because,
right.
Again,
we're proactive again.
Here we go. We
want to come before, not after.
Not after. So we're going to mitigate those risks and anticipate any of those potential challenges. We're not going to wait until after they happen. We want to see that shit coming.
Right. And we don't want you to lose everything.
No.
We just want you to lose a little something if you have to. But we don't want you to show up naked because you done literally lost all your clothes, your house, your car, and everything. Yeah, because you didn't see it coming. We don't want that for you.
Right. So we're not future or fortune tellers or anything like that.
Right.
However, we are looking at all the aspects because, again, analytical and we're rational. So we're going to analyze this shit like what's going to happen. Let's be realistic. What could happen? Right. Anyway, so get you a realist as a part of your team as well, because they will help you to see things from a different perspective. Right. They will help you mitigate those risks and they will give you and offer up some practical solutions and help you problem solve some things. Right. So,
and if they're genuine realists, you pretty much can take what they say to the bank. Yeah.
Correct. That is true. We've talked about the characteristics. We've talked about what those roles look like. We're not going to harp on it, as I always say. But if you know of some other characteristics that you could include, feel free to give us a call, leave us a message, and let us know.
Okay, so while we were kind of analyzing what role or what description we are, just kind of keep in mind what you are and what the people that are in your circle, if you can kind of identify, such and such is more like this, because they all feed into your life. So we just want to make sure that we do have a variety of those people because you do need them all. We don't want all of them to be a realist because you might end up staying depressed if everybody's always keeping it real with you. So you may need a little bit of the dreamer to kind of balance it out. So you just kind of want to take inventory, see what you are to people in their life, and then see what people are giving you. What are they dishing out to your life?
Right. Yeah. And any herstories?
We want a herstory quote?
Do you have a herstory quote today? Right.
And we're realists, but surely there's another one out there. Of course, I'm going to give you a little something to take with you and something for you to show up in somebody else's face and go, nah. It's Women's Herstory Month. So it's Equal Pay Day, too. So we all know what that means for women. So it's Equal Pay Day today, and then it's also Women's Herstory Month. So in honor of that, I'm going to drop something for you about women. So here it goes.
Want to hear it? Here it goes.
You want to hear it? Here it goes. It's time that we acknowledge the wisdom women have acquired by managing the chaos of daily life. Women are realists, the glue that holds society together. They bring a reverence to life that's instinctual, not just intellectual. And that's by Teresa Hines. So we're not just smarty pants. We also have other very valuable traits as well.
Right, as they know.
All right.
All right. Until next time, people, stay hopeful
and stay curious.
Before we part ways, we invite you to share your own stories, thoughts, and reflections with us. Connect with us on social media, reach out through our website, or simply leave a comment on your preferred podcast platform. Feel free to leave us in voicemail at 816-607-1243 with any thoughts, concerns, or questions that you'd like shared on Lifing 101 or just answered or addressed. If you prefer to send us an email, feel free to do so by sending it to our website, lifing101pod.com, or send us an email to info@lifing101pod.com. Your insights and experiences enrich our shared understanding of this incredible journey we're all a part of. Please subscribe to this podcast and follow our website, lifing101pod.com, and find and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Stay hopeful, stay curious, and keep embracing the vibrant, unpredictable, and awe-inspiring journey that we call life. Goodbye for now, and may your days be filled with endless wonder.